Healthy Lifestyle Crib presents How Sex Affects Your Brain. Let's discuss the good and the bad, even if you didn't grow up in the 90s. What does sex have to do with the brain? I assume you get the reference. Well, have you ever wondered why, with a million other things on your mind, your brain sometimes shuts down or loses attention during sex? If you consider your body as the complex mechanism that it is, these considerations can have a significant effect on your sex life. Check out these 6 areas in which sex affects your brain. Number 1. Enhances your libido. This one actually makes sense. Libido is shorthand for sexual appetite. We won't mind if you look it up. We assume you already know that libido can range from very high to very low to very middling. Since libido is directly controlled by hormone production and acquired habits, both of which are signaled by the brain, there is a wide range, and having a low or lowish libido isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's more common than you may believe. Number 2. Boosts your adrenaline. Your heartbeat stimulates, your skin flushed, and you breathe more rapidly. Which is it? You're ready to take the plunge on a roller coaster, or you're having some naughty pre-playtime. The hormones adrenaline and epinephrine, respectively, are responsible for triggering those signs and symptoms. Foreplay or a life or death emergency. If you're conditioned to identify the rush of adrenaline with pleasant experiences, you might be surprised to find yourself arousable in less desirable circumstances. Number 3. Dopamine and serotonin are released. Hormone release during sex is typically not an individual experience. Since engaging in sexual activity is entirely healthy, the feel-good hormones dopamine and serotonin will be there to celebrate with adrenaline. The two of them are close friends and frequently collaborate. After learning that serotonin promotes joy, concentration, and calm while dopamine stimulates intense pleasure, the meaning of the word dope becomes immediately apparent. Number 4. The 2 O's. Seeing as how we're talking about sex, you can definitely guess the first O. Orgasms can be so intense that they resemble near-death experiences, which is why the adrenaline surge is appropriately named the tiny death, in French, le petit. Oxytocin, the third, feel-good, hormone, is represented by the letter O. The release of oxytocin, commonly known as the love hormone, has been linked to a reduction in tension and anxiety, which may help explain why petting a puppy or receiving a kind embrace from a loved one is so comforting. Number 5. You might feel sad after having sex. How often have you had sex and then thought, that was it? This is the sex everyone has been talking about, and if it doesn't live up to the hype, you may experience a wide range of negative emotions despite the fact that the experience itself may have been positive. Post-coital depression is the term for this condition. It's possible that your experiences with sex have not been wholly happy. Perhaps they were messy or embarrassing, and these factors had a negative impact on your self-image. If the memory is primarily traumatic, consider discussing it openly with your spouse and decide on a course of action if you feel safe doing so. You should have a positive, healthy, and pleasant sexual encounter since that is what sex is. Number 6. It improves your sleep. There is no denying the physical nature of sex. Since its initial publication, sex-facilitating sleep has been common knowledge, but it never hurts to be reminded. Makes sense when you consider that sex is a form of physical activity, possibly even exercise, and that this activity causes your body to create endorphins, which in turn make you feel good and reduce your stress and worry. According to us, that's the ideal formula for a deep, rejuvenating sleep. Having sex is supposed to bring out positive feelings in people and foster close bonds between them, but the messiness, complexity, and awkwardness that can accompany it are all part of the human experience. Did you take away any nuggets of wisdom or new information? Perhaps you can think of someone who might appreciate this advice. However, we could all benefit from more open optimism, and, when it comes to that, wonderful sex might play a significant role. Please help me spread the love by clicking the like button. We appreciate you taking the time to watch.